to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, the words of the Holy One, the true one, who has the key of David, who opens and no one will shut, who shuts and no one opens. I know your works. Behold, I have set before you an open door, which no one is able to shut. I know that you have but little power, and yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. Behold, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan, who say that they are Jews and are not, but lie. Behold, I will make them come and bow down before your feet, and they will learn that I have loved you. Because you have kept my word about patient endurance, I will keep you from the hour of trial that is coming on the whole world, to try those who dwell on the earth. I am coming soon. Hold fast what you have, so that no one may seize your crown. The one who conquers, I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God. Never shall he go out of it. And I will write on him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, the New Jerusalem, which comes down from my God out of heaven, and my own new name. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches.
Philadelphia, Alasehir is noted for its bread.
I can see why.
You really understand what they mean by daily bread in this part of the world.
Sure. Are we able to buy some?
We sure can.
Super. Make it up.
Wow. Hot and fresh.
Oh, that smells delicious. Thank you. Thank you.
Of the 7 churches, Philadelphia, here in the modern city of Alasehir, has the fewest archaeological remains of any.
Why is that so? Why hasn't there been more preservation or digs?
Well, they've just built the modern city over the ancient one and only preserved a few things.
Let's talk about the letter that was sent to Philadelphia. It's a unique one.
Yeah.
There's nothing negative that Jesus says about that group.
Yeah, they have little strength, but he commends them nevertheless.
For holding fast. He mentions something that I find intriguing. He talks about Satan, and he talks about the synagogue of Satan.
Yeah. I think we're talking about internal conflict in the synagogue itself between those traditional Jewish members of the synagogue and now the Jesus followers. And so we have a conflict, and again, this whole issue we see in the Gospel of John of being put out of the synagogue happening here in Philadelphia.
That's something we see consistently through the New Testament. You know, the gospel of Jesus goes first to the Jews when Paul goes to synagogues.
Yes.
As is often the case, they reject the gospel, and then he goes and talks to Gentiles.
Exactly. Look at what we got ahead of us here. This is one of the few remains in the city. So this is a pillars of a 6th century basilica dedicated to St. John.
So we're talking about several hundred years after the Revelation.
Yeah, so the tradition, the memory of John is preserved here in Philadelphia.
I mean, it's beautiful, but it's kind of sad that this is all that there is to see.
Yeah, all there is. And they've kind of made an open-air museum, brought in some of the antiquities from the museum, architectural fragments, some inscriptions. So, but this is it. No museum in this town either.
Philadelphia is another one of the cities where the town has grown up on top of it and around it. You know, very similar to Smyrna. What's different is there have not been a lot of archaeological digs done there. They haven't done much with the site, and there's just not an interest in developing the site and having even tourism come through. Mark has a close friend, a lady by the name of Ingi, who grew up in Philadelphia, and she has this connection there.
This is the Turkish coffee
Yes.
in the traditional style. And we always have it with some Turkish delight or chocolate.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it. Mm-hmm. We've been doing it wrong this whole trip.
Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love.
That's right.
My hometown. It's named after Attalus II Philadelphus, who loved his brother and did not betray his brother Eumenes II.
There's not much to see in Philadelphia. Why is that?
Unfortunately.
Why isn't there much to see in Philadelphia?
I was born there, and I spent the first 5 years of my life, and I still have relatives there. First of all, awareness is missing. And then the other thing, there were excavations only at a temple up Toptepe and the theater and the prehistoric mound, only for like 5-6 years, and it didn't last longer. Everybody's home is on top of some ruins, so in the past they were rebuilding. Of course, in the past the houses were 1 story or 2 story. Then I grew up with stories, oh, there are tunnels under this way, under that way, and we got a torch, we went this far, but we were scared, we came back. I grew up with these stories.
That's amazing.
But it's difficult to say that there's nothing to see there, but there's all things to say about it.
Right.
There was a Jewish presence in Philadelphia. All these 7 churches had a Jewish presence because for a monotheistic religion like Christianity to find some roots in the ground, you do need to have some background, you know, and that's Judaism.
So the message to the church in Philadelphia, these folks that were experiencing oppression by the Jews in the area, the message to them was to hold on.
Yeah,
Keep
absolutely.
doing what you're doing. Don't grow weary. I think that's a message that any Christian in any era would benefit from hearing.
We've seen a number of columns in temples, haven't we? Everywhere.
Everywhere.
There's a promise to the faithful, the victors here in Philadelphia, that if they continue on and endure, they're going to become columns in the temple of God. So what a precious promise.
But very different, because instead of a broken down remnant of a column or a pillar laying on the ground, we're talking about being a pillar or a column in a heavenly temple that's never going to fall apart.
Exactly. So pillars represent strength, stability, even in earthquakes.
Yeah.
They know how to anchor them, and how we're anchored in Jesus.
Oh, that's a fantastic illustration. The letter that Jesus sent to Philadelphia is super encouraging, but it's sent to this city that is smaller and even in its original setting, maybe a little bit less significant. It's to these people where he does not have something to say to condemn them or correct them. He doesn't offer any kind of rebuke. It's just flat out encouragement from start to finish, where he's encouraging them to hang on. Jesus, as he looks at these churches, he's not impressed with size. He's not impressed with wealth. The thing that Jesus values is faithfulness. And so he praises them for their faithfulness and encourages them to hang on and hold fast and to endure. And I think that's a lesson that we need to take. Jesus is not impressed with our attendance size. He's not impressed with the size of our building, the location of our building. He's not impressed with how much money a congregation contributes on a weekly basis or an annual basis. That's not what he's worried about. But what he is impressed with is faithfulness, especially faithfulness that can endure any kind of trial.
I'm Craig.
And I'm Stu, and we're the founders of Appian Media.
We really hope that you've enjoyed the content that you've just seen. This was only made available through the generous donations of so many of you.
We believe that the world should have biblically accurate, visually engaging content about the Bible, and it should be free for everyone.
We would encourage you to visit the membership page of appianmedia.org and consider becoming a reoccurring member. Everything that you donate to Appian Media is tax deductible.
However you decide to donate, we really appreciate your support.